All right, joining us now is award-winning director and producer Jonathan J.B. Brownlee, joining us to discuss Hollywood's growing alarm over hyper-realistic AI videos. A recent viral clip featuring AI-generated versions of Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise has intensified some industry fears about consent, copyright, and the future of filmmaking. J.B., welcome to the news desk.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You got it. So, as a filmmaker, and I'm sure you've probably seen the video, what was your first reaction to seeing that AI-generated Tom Cruise Brad Pitt video?
Yeah, I mean it's always interesting to see how much of a splash, a 15-second AI clip can create in our world. But I mean, isn't that the fight we all really want to see? Is Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise? That seems pretty
Yeah,
fun to
yeah,
me.
it does. It really does. Do you view this technology, JB, as a creative tool? Do you view it as a threat, or maybe you view them as both?
Yeah, it's a great question, and just for your listeners and viewers, this is has been created. The parent company is ByteDance, which owns TikTok, and then they've created a text to video app called CDance 2.0, and this was created by an award-winning, actually an Oscar-nominated filmmaker named Rory Robinson. So he's really using this creative tool to sort of, create something fun to make a splash in the marketplace. And I look at it both ways. I mean, obviously, as you've mentioned, we're going to have to figure out what the legalities of copyright and proper usage are. But we've been using CGI and AI tools to enhance feature films and episodic product and online content, for a
Mhm.
while now. So I think now that the realism is really sort of in the forefront of all of this, and again they're using high-end A-list actors images. I think my guess is this will go all the way to the Supreme Court, and we'll get some guardrails on this.
How do you think AI-generated actors could change artistic choices that directors and producers make?
Well, it's a great question. I think I don't really see AI generated actors, except potentially in animation, really taking over the jobs of your
Mhm.
Screen Actors Guild, your AFTRA, your general actors that play character roles or leads. I mean, most people go to see Mission Impossible or F1 because Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt are in those films, and that's what really draws them to pay $12 and $26 for a bucket of popcorn. But
Yeah.
I think like I said, we've been using these tools to enhance. For instance, if you look at a big crowd scene, rather than hire 500 extras, you might hire 20 and then generate the other 480. So these tools will really be used, I think, efficiently, the ways that they should be. But again, with legal guardrails in place.
Does and Tom Cruise is a perfect example of this. He loves to do his own stunts. He's known to do these crazy, impossible stunts. Yet he does them. That be a stand-in as he's getting older, as we're all getting older? Could that be something down the road in 10 years? He doesn't want to jump out of a plane. Could it be Tom Cruise's AI double?
Are you implying that we're all getting older? I don't. I really. Yeah. Well, okay. I'm going to let you in a little secret. We've been doing that for about the last 15 years with CGI and
Okay.
animation and body capture and motion capture. But yeah, he really does like to push the boundary of what the human body, especially him, at 60 plus, what they can do. So this is where the corporations, the executives, the insurance companies jump in and go, why don't we just get AI to do that, as opposed to hanging Tom off the side of a building.
Yeah, SAG-AFTRA and the MPA have expressed some serious concerns, rightfully so. Do you believe the current union
Yep.
agreements adequately protect actors and creators from AI misuse?
I think it's a start. They're currently negotiating a new contract, and my guess is this will be a big part of the negotiations. AI is growing so quickly and is accelerating that I don't think we've kept up very well. From a legal point of view. So there's some more work to be done there.
How do you see AI reshaping production pipelines, budgeting, shooting schedules in post-production?
Well, what's interesting about AI is we're using it in pre-production to help budget and schedule, to help break down scripts already, which really, helps us to look at different jurisdictions on where we might shoot a film and do economic compare and contrasts. So we're using AI that way already. I think what will happen is in the actual production of film and television shows, we'll start to see more use of it in the post-production workflow. I think that's where we can really take advantage of some of these tools.
What do you think the blowback is from fans if you start using more AI as opposed to real actors?
Yeah, I mean, it's very funny. There are currently several AI actors that are in the news. Um, that are looking or they're seeking representation from some of the major agencies in Los Angeles. So,
Hmm.
we're in a really brave new world right now. I think so many people watch content on their phones and their iPads and their watches that they're quite used to this technology. And so I don't think there'll be a huge blowback from fans. I think they're interested in new types of content, and that can only be good for the entertainment business.
What advice do you give to emerging filmmakers navigating the industry and being transformed by AI now?
Well, I would say, welcome to the new world and congratulations. In some ways, AI is going to help level the playing field. If you were trying to do visual effects, on something like Mad Max Furiosa, there was 1,600 visual effects, in that, 20 to $30 million spent. That can now, in some ways be done by independent filmmakers. And gives them a little bit of a tool to help level the playing field. And I think that's always good.
JB, thank you so much for sharing your insight at this critical moment in film history. Conversations like this are essential. What happens next, of course, will shape not just filmmaking, but the future of creativity itself. Thank you, JB. I sure appreciate it, sir.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. All right, 44 now past the hour. We'll turn now to some local headlines that we've got here on the KFYR Plus News Desk.